With Jermell Charlo seemingly calling out Errol Spence Jr., hey, stop that cap. It puts a lot of pressure on Gen Z fighters and makes a lot of Gen Z fighters, such as Shakur Stevenson, look bad. In this video, I'm going to break it down, Ego Thoughts style. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, Ego Thoughts. Your boy been thinking, and I gotta talk about this. And I told you I was going back to the basics. I want to get them Ego Thoughts videos in. No one else is really talking about certain things, so leave it to me. I gotta talk about it. I've already made a video. Jermell Charlo posted a picture. The picture you see right here, right? This particular picture where he's seemingly calling out Errol Spence Jr., right? He's going by the Lions Only moniker since his career started. Errol Spence is known as the big fish, the shark emoji. We know this, right? I've already made a video about it. Check that on the channel. Now, it got me to thinking, and I had to make this video. If this does come into fruition, or let's say they're working on the fight, and if this does manifest itself where Errol Spence ends up fighting Jermell Charlo, he's going to make a lot of these young fighters look extremely bad. The ones that come to mind for me are Shakur Stevenson. And I'm going to break it down and let you know why I say that. Because Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo have been friends and stablemates, right? They've sparred together. They're both from Texas. So they got that going on where, like, you know, Texas pride and all that. They were in the same gym. They sparred each other and they're friends. So if they're willing to fight each other, then there's really no justification for, like, Shakur Stevenson saying, I won't fight Keyshawn Davis, right? Because keep in mind, you're talking about two of the best from Texas that were on the same team at a point in time, right? And if they end up fighting each other, then that just shows that their generation is willing to put the business before the friendship. Now, mind you, Jermell Charlo, he actually put up a post with it. And again, I've already talked about this on the channel. You guys got to watch that initial Charlo video. But Jermell Charlo, he basically put up a post before that graphic with the lion eating the shark. And he said, there ain't no friends in this industry. So right then and there, to me, that stipulates you got a man who's about his business, about his bread, and he's not going to view others as like, oh, this friendship goes before my career, right? But Shakur Stevenson, let him tell it. He's like, I'll never fight against Keyshawn Davis. They're not from the same state. They're not like friends from like childhood, right? It's not like they've been friends since they were 2 years old or something, right? So why would Shakur Stevenson say that I'm not fighting Keyshawn Davis? Yeah, because there's been so many people who've asked him about it. They said if Turkey offered you $100 million and they threw out crazy numbers, would you fight Keyshawn Davis, right? And Shakur's like, nah, why would I do that? I'm not fighting him. He's my friend. Bro, it's a bad look. And another thing that I personally don't like about that is boxing's too competitive, right? Where it's not trying to like instigate or anything like that. But the reality is Keyshawn was at lightweight as a champion and Shakur is at lightweight as a champion. But you let the usual suspects, the Haniacs, the Inshakurs, the Resistance, let them tell it. They'll blame Tank Davis for everything, right? Like, oh, why is Tank fighting Jake Paul? These other guys, nobody wants to put them in $100 million plus exhibition fight. So they don't have an opportunity. So it's easy for you to say, hey, I wouldn't fight Jake Paul, or I wouldn't do a novelty fight while I'm an active career. Nobody wants you in a novelty fight, and nobody's willing to pay you the type of money Tank is going to make to face Jake Paul, right? So it's easy for you to discount it and dismiss it, saying, I would never do that, when you don't have the option. That's like somebody who don't have an option to date a celebrity chick, and they're like, oh, you know, I wouldn't have bought her that ring. You can't afford the ring. You know, I wouldn't have dated her. You don't have an option to date her. It's like, what are we talking about? Right? So Jermell Charlo making this statement and putting the world on notice and kind of hinting that he could fight Errol Spence, I don't want to hear from no other fighter, because to me, Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo were definitely cool. And I don't know if anything changed. I don't know what transpired, but Jermell Charlo, he made it very clear that ain't no friends in this game. You know what I mean? If you in my way, you in my way. And Errol Spence, if he comes back, obviously he probably can't make 47. We know that. Crawford fight, he looked weight drained, right? So now if he's in Jermell Charlo's division, this is a big fight, and two guys in the same division, you knew it could come to this, right? And I've heard other fighters in the past where they are cool with somebody and they're like, yo, just know we might have to fight each other down the line, like Zab Judah and Floyd Mayweather, right? We might have to fight each other. We have to rock. So I was just thinking about it, and to me, it looks bad because Shakur is the opposite. Shakur Stevenson is like, I'm not fighting Keyshawn. He's my brother. And it's not just about breaking up friendships. It's the reality of why would you not fight somebody in a competitive sport that's in your way, in your division, and would make a lot of money? You could be friends again after, but to separate the business from the friendship, we've seen it before. Broner said he would fight Danny Garcia, and they're friends, right? So I think it was Danny Garcia who said he don't have close friends in his weight class. And I know other fighters that have that kind of same rule, where it's like, why even get close to people who you may be pitted against? Like, why get too close? I'm not saying you can't be cordial, you can't be friendly, you can't like go out to eat lunch or whatever. You could do all those things, but you have to know that you also have a career, and fighters only have a certain window and a certain shelf life anyway. So what are you just gonna not fight people and then label them your friends? The other thing I don't like about that is because if that's the case, then you have pretty much an excuse to not fight anybody. You could say, I could go to heavyweight, and then all the big punchers say, oh, Wilder's my friend. Oh, Tyson Fury's my friend. AJ's my friend. Usyk's my friend. So now you don't have to fight nobody because you're friends with everybody, right? So I'm not big in this world on people pleasers, and that's kind of like a people pleaser. It's like you want to be cool with everybody. I don't trust people like that. I don't trust people who are like cool with everybody type of people. That's just me though.